Hi, welcome to Good Readers Review. I am Anya and this is my review of The Wager, A Tale of Shipwreck, Mutiny and Murder by David Grann. If you already read this book, write down your honest review in the comments section below. Before reviewing the book, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. Opinions expressed in this review are completely my own. So, let's get on to the book review so you can fill up your to-read list. This book is 352 pages and written in English, and the book's publication date will be April 4, 2023. The Wager, by David Grann, is a non-fiction novel. But this book genre can be put into history, true crime, mystery, historical, adventure, crime, adult and survival categories also. So, my dear readers, please take a deep breath and close your eyes. Get ready to go on a journey with me. Relieved face now, let's talk about The Wager, A Tale of Shipwreck, Mutiny and Murder. I was excited to read the Kindle edition of David Grann's The Wager. This is an astoundingly and painstakingly well-researched book of historical nonfiction. It is a story of the shipwrecked Wager, a tale of death, destruction, betrayal, and survival. Some of the events and names of characters involved were well known in the 1700s but have been lost in history. David Grann has revived the incredible story with his meticulous research. I read the ebook on my Kindle and found it difficult to put it down. I wanted to know who would survive in such a storm-swept place and what the outcome would be. The central characters were well drawn, and many others were named. Grann's The Killers of the August Moon and The Lost City of Z had fewer characters to sort out, and they read more like fiction, but this story was more complex and far-reaching. I had heard about press gangs who grabbed men off the streets, forcing them to work on the ships. These were often criminal elements and the scum of society. The author draws an incredible picture of invalid and injured veterans hauled out of the hospital, some carried on stretchers onto the ships to perform naval duties. I had not known that upper-class boys as young as 14 could join the Navy with the ambition of becoming future officers and gentlemen. John Byron is featured as an example. He attended a private school and was expected to be able to draw, fence, dance, know classics and mathematics and some Latin while learning about tasks on board the ship. He is forgotten today despite a successful naval career, but he was the grandfather of the poet Lord Byron. The book is lavishly illustrated with excellent, helpful maps and 28 other well-chosen pictures. There are portraits of several of the main characters painted during their lifetimes, paintings of the Wager, etchings of the survivor's life on a desolate, remote island, photos of this place in the present and from 1742, pictures on how to amputate legs and arms. If you are reading an ebook, I recommend you switch to an iPad to enlarge the illustrations and view them in color. A squadron of ships, including the Wager, was launched in 1740 by Britain to establish British domination over Spain and control the sea and trade routes with the aim of empire building. A secret mission was the capture of Spanish gold and silver. Conditions on board the outbound ships were horrific. They were filthy, with sickening odors, vermin and insect-infested and hunger. There were many deaths from scurvy, tetanus, and infections. Healthy food and sufficient water were lacking. Excessive numbers of the crew were too sick to work. After the shipwreck, it is no wonder that hopes of survival were grim. Those who remained alive descended into savagery, treachery, theft, anarchy, mutiny, murder, and even cannibalism. 283 days after the Wager was believed to have sunk in a raging storm off Patagonia with all aboard lost at sea, a small, roughly constructed boat made it over 3,000 miles to Brazil. It had started the journey with 81 men, but now only 30 sick, skeleton-like men were barely alive. 6 months later, a smaller boat washed up in Chile with only 3 men, who were emaciated, covered with bugs, delirious, and near death. Members of both groups feared returning to England because they thought there could be sufficient charges to warrant death by hanging following an admiralty trial. The newcomers blamed the first group of mutiny and abandoning crew members on shore to die from thirst, cold weather and starvation. There were counter-charges of murder and treachery. The author describes the trial and leaves it to the reader to draw their own conclusions. And if you really want to read this book, You can take it from the link in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy this content, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and please feel free to give it a thumbs up or share it with any other fellow